Hello, I hope you're doing good. Today, I just wanted to discuss a little bit about jumping to conclusions. Um, our brain loves to jump to conclusions about what's going to happen to us, and it takes some steady work to make sure we jump to the right conclusions. um, and when people get tinnitus, one of the conclusions they often jump to is, "Oh my God, I'm going to have to live with this for the rest of my life, and it's going to be like this forever and ever, and it's going to get worse." That's what someone was writing. They were saying that, "What am I going to? I'm worried that it's going to get worse." Um, but it hasn't gotten worse yet. So I too have been very good at jumping to extreme conclusions about what might be wrong with me. When I had COVID January of last year, and I literally had this problem in a very magnified way where I thought there were things wrong with my heart. One reason because they did a CT scan and saw that my heart might be enlarged, and I jumped to enormous conclusions, and I started feeling all kinds of crazy sensations in my chest. Um, and I still, to this day, don't know if it was the COVID or my mind jumping to conclusions. But as you can see, I'm here today, and I'm okay. so, and with the tinnitus, I did the same thing. I thought, oh my God, this I'm going to lose my mind. Because I can't deal with this. But as you can see, I'm here today, and I'm doing just fine. So this is part of the essence of getting better from tinnitus, and also just having better mental health, is you've got to be aware that sometimes our brain is apt to try to, in its attempt to try to deal with things, will jump to conclusions, and then we get into a state of panic and worry and depression, all kinds of things like that. I mean, I think if you look at the course of your life, things have always gone up and down. And even when you feel really bad, then you feel good again later. Sometimes you can feel bad for quite some time, but then you feel good again later. And this is more the norm. Now, if you get into a pattern of worrying a lot, and you start to develop just sort of maybe like an obsession, we can have obsessive compulsive behavior about the tinnitus, where we are obsessed with trying to solve it, trying to find some way out. And that obsession leads us to be in a pattern that's harder to break out of. So we have to start jumping to some great conclusions. And if you look at the body of evidence about people who get tinnitus, they get better. So jump to that conclusion, because just about everyone reaches a state where they're much, much, much better with tinnitus. And you can go around asking, and if you ask enough people, you'll run into lots of people who have tinnitus, and they all say, "Oh yeah, it's kind of bothersome sometimes, but I've gotten used to it, and I'm okay now." So jump to that conclusion, because that's what's going to happen, especially if you'll allow it to. So that's part of what my videos are about. It's just getting you to that place faster, because we get stuck because of this intense feeling that we get from the onset of tinnitus, and we get into a pattern that we have trouble breaking out of. So we want to understand that we're going to get better, and we want to jump to that conclusion. So. And so I'm trying to help you to do it faster, and I always say, go to the doctor, let them tell you you're safe, because you are. First, go ask them, make sure, and then when they tell you you're safe, this tinnitus is not going to harm you. It's not going to harm you, and as you really take that into heart, take that to heart, and you really clearly understand that, your subconscious brain starts to change, and it doesn't become something that you will be so obsessed with. This obsessiveness about this obsessive compulsive behavior about the tinnitus is what we're trying to break free of. And the understanding that you're safe is the first step. So let's just try to get that as clear as possible. If you have to say it 100 times, 1,000 times, I'm safe, and it's not going to harm me. I'm okay. I can do everything I need to do and also have tinnitus. Your brain is going to change the way it deals with it, and you're going to be able to cope a lot better. And then, you think about the future, and it could get worse. It's going to be hard for me to cope with. But see, these are thoughts. These are only thoughts, and what can you do with thoughts? You can change your thoughts, and as you change your thoughts, oh my gosh, it'll be so much easier for you. So then we want to try to change the way we talk about tinnitus. So it's not only about saying I'm safe, but it's also about saying it's no problem. I can do everything I need to do, and before you know it, I'm going to forget about it a lot more often, and just go on about my life. And even better, instead of having a negative association with the tinnitus, as strange as this may sound, it's you want to have a positive association about tinnitus. It's a beautiful sound. I like it. It's just a nice, soothing sound. I feel very soothed when I listen to it. Very soothing. Yeah. And that may sound weird or strange to say that, but what is even weirder and stranger and worse is to be obsessed with the sound in a negative way. So we have to change our thinking, and then our brain, like the chemistry in our body, literally will change, and we won't have all these anxious hormones shooting out and having trouble sleeping and being depressed and things like that, because we start to have a positive association. And you can do this for a lot of different things that confront you, whether it be moving to a new place, or losing someone, or having some other problem with your body. You can use this same strategy of first affirming that you're safe, and then changing the thoughts that you have about this thing, and identifying, hey, this is kind of obsessive thoughts that I'm having about this thing. So I'm going to turn it around and say, well, whatever X is, I'm going to switch it over to Y. So in the case of I'm moving to a new place, well, I look forward to being in the new place, and I'm imagining how wonderful it's going to be there. If you lost someone, you say, I feel good about the life they led, and I'm also okay now because I learned so much from them, and now I'm becoming someone thanks to them. I'm very appreciative of them. Something else wrong with your body. Well, we all get things wrong with our body, but the way we deal with it in our mind is so important because it leads better to the healing process. So I have a pain in my toe, and I might need surgery later. That's something I could spend a lot of time worrying about. Oh my God, I'm going to be crippled. But I believe in my body, and I've found that as I even try to have a positive association about the pain that I have in the foot, the pain goes away. And it's like, oh, that's just my body healing, And I think I've gotten better. We're even dealing with that. I used to be a person that worried a lot about any sort of pain in my body. And thanks to tinnitus, I've actually learned to not worry about things like that so much, and just go on about my day. I'm going to have stuff that happens. So anyways, I think I'm rambling a little bit today, but I felt I should make a video today because, I skipped today, and I have a lot of people saying they appreciate my videos. So I try my best. I had a little bit of a rough time because I have a cat that he's not doing too well. So I've been a little bit anxious, or a little bit stressed because of that. But I'm glad that I feel this obligation to make these videos, because it makes me also, think about my own stuff, and move forward and with what I'm doing too. So, okay, well, I hope you're doing well, and yeah, hang in there, keep getting better and better.